All right, so in this video, we're going to be looking at calculating the distance between 2 points and the midpoint of a line segment. So I've selected 2 points, -2, 3, and 7, 5, and we're going to find the distance between them first, and then we're going to find the midpoint. Now, this can be a very important skill in certain kinds of problems, like the equation of a circle, because if you have a domain for a diameter, sorry, too many D words. If you have a diameter, for example, then the length of that diameter is twice the radius, so that can get you the radius component of your equation. And the midpoint of a diameter is the center, and you also need that for your circle equation. So if we were to find the distance here, we would have to use the distance formula, which in 2 dimensions is going to be x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, although the order that you do the subtraction, it doesn't really matter. So in this case, because the square is going to get rid of any sign differences anyway. So in this case, I'm going to have -2 minus 7 squared, and I'm going to have 3 minus 5 squared. I'm just subtracting from left to right with the first coordinates and the corresponding second coordinates. That is going to give me -2 minus 7 is -9. -9 squared is 81. And 3 minus 5 is -2. -2 squared is going to be 4. And so this is going to give me the square root of 85. And then the midpoint formula is basically just the average of the 2 coordinate points, the corresponding points. So it's going to be x1 plus x2 over 2. And then it's going to be y1 plus y2 over 2. So in this case, we're going to have -2 plus 7 over 2. And we're going to have 3 plus 5 over 2, which is going to give me, in this case, 5 over 2, and 8 over 2 is 4. Now, if in fact these were the endpoints of a diameter, I could go ahead and use this information. My center would be 5/2 would be h, and 4 would be k, and my radius would be the square root of 85 over 2. And I could put that into my circle equation, x minus 5/2 squared y minus 4 squared is equal to r squared, which would be 85 over 4. Now, we can do something similar. The algebra, it's really the arithmetic, is a little more challenging if you have fractions, but it basically works the same way. So I want to go through an example. We're not going to find the equation of the circle that is where these are the diameter. This would be a very small circle. But we are just going to calculate the distance and the midpoint. And problems like this are mostly just to get you comfortable with working with not only the formulas, but also then simplifying with the fractions. So our distance formula, and I'll write it out so that's a little clear. -1/2 minus 3/2 squared plus 2/3 minus 5/3 squared. And again, just simplify a bit by bit. 1/2 minus 3/2 is going to give me 4/2. And 2/3 minus 5/3, 2 minus 5 is going to give me 3. It's going to give me minus 3 over 3/3. And in this particular case, I can actually simplify. 4 over 2 is 2. And 3 over 3 is 1. Now remember, when you square, everything becomes positive. So this will be 4 plus 1, which is going to be the square root of 5. And then the midpoint formula, again, it remains the same. But now we have fractions involved. So the algebra is just a little trickier. The numerator is going to be negative 1/2 plus 3/2 over 2. And then our other numerator is going to be 2/3 plus 5/3 all over 2. Now, if we simplify our numerator, 1/2 plus 3/2, so negative 1 plus 3 is going to be positive 2. So that's going to give me 2 over 2. And 2 and 5 is going to give me 7. So this is going to give me 7 over 3. And then my first coordinate here is going to simplify. 2 over 2 is just 1. And in my second coordinate, what I'm going to do is I am going to, the 2 in the denominator, I'm dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So this is going to be 7 over 3, times 1 over 2. And so this is going to be 1/2, comma, 7 over 6.